And now, boys and girls, a tale from the sea. Well, sorta. It's just a story about a funny thing that happened on a boat. But it's a tale from the internet, which I've always loved. That I don't know if it happened. Hand to God, I didn't write this. I wasn't there. This was written by a guy named Tupper Wolf on Reddit. It, as far as I know, existed before this edit, but this is one of my favorite versions of it. I'm going to read it to you now in the interest of passing along its wisdom. So, late to the party, but this one is too good to pass up. I was once on a U.S. military ship, having breakfast in the wardroom. That's the officer's lounge. When the operations officer walks in, that's ops. This guy was the definition of not a morning person. He's still half asleep, blurry-eyed, basically a zombie with a bagel. And he is just barely conscious. So he sits down across from me to eat his bagel. And like I said, he's just barely conscious. So my back is to the outboard side of the ship. And the morning sun is blazing in one of the portholes, putting this big bright-ass circle of light right in his barely conscious face. He's squinting and chewing and basically just remembering how to be alive for the day. It's painful to watch. So then Zombie Ops sits there and keeps chewing. Turns, slowly picks up the phone and dials the bridge. In his well-known "I'm still totally asleep" voice, he says, "Hey, it's Ops. Could you ship our Pat? Yeah, 165. Thanks." And puts the phone down. And he just sits there, squinting, waiting. And then, ever so slowly, I realize that the big blazing spot of sun has begun to slide off the zombie's face and onto the wall behind him. After a moment, it clears his face and he blinks slowly a few times, and the brilliant beauty of what I've just witnessed begins to overwhelm me. By ordering the bridge to adjust the ship's back and forth patrol by about 15 degrees, he's changed our course just enough to reposition the sun off his face. He's literally just redirected thousands of tons of steel and hundreds of people so that he could get the sun out of his eyes while he eats his bagel. I am in awe. He slowly picks up his bagel, and for a moment, I'm terrified at the thought that his own genius may escape him. He's not going to be awake for another hour. The sheer epic brilliance of his laziness. But between his next bites, he pauses, looks at me, and gives me the faintest sly grin before returning to gnaw slowly on his zombie bagel. Once again, that was written by a Redditor named Tupper Wolf. And thank you, Tupper Wolf, for writing that, because it's fucking hilarious. For all you other insomniacs out there, go the fuck to sleep. It's 3 a.m. on the East Coast, and it's midnight-ish on the West Coast. Go to sleep anyway. Early to bed, early rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Wait a minute. Healthy, wealthy, wise. I'm sick, broken, dumb. Ah, shit. I'm going to bed.